My F18 brother, 9M, saw me having sex and I don't know how much he saw or if he's traumatized. There was a paint can in front of the door so he didn't open it all the way, but I don't know how much he saw, but it was like ass and tits fully out. He was trying to scare me and oh boy did he. I screamed so loud. Anyways, he told me a quick message from outside the door and went downstairs to watch YouTube. He seems fine but he's a weirdo. In a good way. I love him though and don't want anything to be off. He's literally the best anyways. Help. Since some of you were wondering, sex is extremely taboo in my family. I don't think he even knows what it is. My parents don't talk about it. My mom didn't even have the birth control conversation with me. That's why I'm freaked out. Also because people are wondering why I didn't simply lock the door. My door doesn't have a lock and I am not allowed to get a knob lock. Even if I was. My door is literally a fancy piece of plywood on hinges because I have a pitched ceiling and any traditional doors wouldn't fit. We've tried hook locks but my animals burst through them. Also either way that's not the point. I am trying to fix the damage. Obviously I'd have a door lock if I could. Also because some of you think it's odd that I'm at my parents' house. I am literally 18 and doing college virtually for the semester BC of the pandemic. I need a place to live. Edit. He absolutely loves my boyfriend. 18M. And I hope that's not ruined. My parents are divorced and so I've tried to show him a good healthy relationship but God not in this way. Second edit. He started watching YouTube like a minute after it happened so I don't think he saw anything. He also started shooting me with his Nerf gun when I came downstairs, so business as usual. I saw my parents having sex when I was 8, maybe 9. They didn't notice and I never told them. It was super awkward and I was out of there within a second. Anyway, it didn't traumatize me in any way. Worst that happened was that I got embarrassed for a little bit. Wait, what was the quick message? Also, I have a pretty similar story. My girlfriend's sister, F9, walked in on us having sex. But we were in bed and we kinda did a weird tumble thing right when we heard the door open. In order for us to cover our naked bodies with the blanket. In the end, everything was good and her sister still loves me. My brother and I have about the same age gap as you and your brother. Once, when I was about 20, me and my BF at the time were visiting my parents. We were staying on the sofa bed in the living room because we didn't have a spare room for us to stay in. It was early evening. My parents were out in the garden and my ex was feeling frisky and started to finger me. My brother hurried into the room and right up to us. I think he was showing me a game or a magazine he'd just gotten. I was mortified and wrangled my ex's hand out of my tights. My brother didn't bat an eye. Continued to babble about this thing he was showing me. I was wary around him for weeks afterwards. But he genuinely didn't seem to notice anything. I think for the most part. Unless they misinterpret what's going on as something that is giving you immense pain. They don't become scarred by something like that. It's good to see that you care so much about how it might have affected him. But as you said, it sounds like he really wasn't affected by it in the least bit. You never know. He might not have seen anything at all. I walked in on my brother and his GF when I was 8 to 9. I didn't really know what was going on. Except that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in there. Took me until I was 15 to piece together what I'd seen. I laughed like hell at that point. Don't worry. You aren't scarring him. Parents are much worse to walk in on than siblings. 22F. Don't even worry about it. Kids see this stuff all the time and turn out fine. Honestly, better to see two people in love doing it for the first time instead of strangers on the internet like most of us. Additionally, it doesn't seem like he saw, because when the kids I used to nanny for 10 and 8 saw me kissing my husband, they screamed ew. I saw my sister having sex when I was 9 lol. I heard moaning upstairs and my friend tried to tell me not to go look, but me being me, I did. I saw her immediately put her top on and cover herself with the blankets. I ended up snitching on her. BC I was hurt to see my sister like that, but now that I'm older, we laugh about it all the time. I still loved her BF too. Probably a little too much. It was a little traumatic, but it didn't ruin our relationship in the slightest. It was more of a like, what a bitch, in the most sibling, true hate-love way. LMAAO. I would have been just as heated in an argument over who gets to use the computer first with her tears of joy. Can you get a doorstop? It'll let you keep the door from opening and you can keep it somewhere discreet when it's not needed. Fucking dyslexia got me all mixed up. I thought op was 9M and their older sister caught them. As you can tell from reading people's experiences here when they were that young themselves. Everyone processes such experiences differently, based on your brother's reactions. I wouldn't exactly panic. You could do literally nothing about it and everything would be fine. You could also get him to see a therapist, and that could end up hit and miss as well. One option would be simply to take the middle ground and let him know that if he has any questions about what happened, that he can talk to you about it. That way he can feel free to have a discussion about it if it is bothering him at all. Also, you can feel better knowing that you've done something. It's sad to think that children seeing a naked human body or even people having sex should somehow traumatize them. The only thing that traumatizes children is the parents' unhealthy attitude towards sex. The kid won't think anything about seeing you naked or even having sex. Seeing something wrong with that is something we program into kids. First op, I love that you are so worried about your brother. Thank you. Does he know about the birds and the bees? If so, sit him down and talk to him maturely about it. If not, WTF are your parents doing? This is not enough to hurt or traumatize him. The big difference is abuse. You don't get the answer to, why is this happening? Don't stress. Alright. You are fine. Thank you for being an awesome sister. Lol, seeing people having sex doesn't traumatize kids. Adults making a huge deal about it does. I have literally walked in on my parents one time when I was like 12 and they actually didn't end up seeing me because their backs were turned to me, but I slowly tiptoed out of there. When they finished and my mom came out, I went to her and gave her the stare that says I know what you were doing, and she was confused, so she asked me what's up, kind of laughing awkwardly. It went on for like 2 minutes until my dad came out and seen me giving my mom that stare, so he then said what, and my mom said IDK. So I started walking away and just said I know what you two were doing, while smirking. I put them in such an awkward position. LMAO, but honestly the last thing I was is traumatized and ended up turning the weird situation of me catching them into entertainment by putting them in an awkward position. We laughed it off. When my brother was 8 and I was 19, he walked in on me and my fiancé came in demanding to know if I ate his strawberries. All he saw was my fiancé's bare ass, but he was fine. Was more concerned about the lack of strawberries in the fridge. TBH. Your brother will be fine. Maybe just talk to your parent about it to let them know what he possibly saw. First, do you realize a majority of human beings in the history of the world slept in the same room as their parents? It's only a recent phenomenon that we have the economic power to have separate rooms for our kids. So your ancestors all saw their parents have sex. That's how they learned about it. So it's genetic that we're fine with it. Why we have so much trouble with sex ed coddling children away from it. Yes. You were showing him a good healthy relationship. And if he sees your boyfriend treating you well, then he'll start to do the same. This did not traumatize him. In fact, it probably did the opposite. By keeping sex away from kids, it makes them even more curious. Which is why English societies have so many problems. I'd just explain it to him. Kids that age understand more than we give them credit for. I had the talk with my brother when he was 9, smiling face. I was home with a friend. 11-ish. Sister comes home with 2 guys. Had a threesome. We still laugh about it. When your brother learns more about sex, it's just gonna be a cringe memory. Edit. Me and my friend was 11. I walked in on my brother's GF completely naked in doggy-style position when I was approximately 10. She said about time, thinking it was my bro. I was froze. My first time seeing a girl bits like that. She then noticed it was me and screamed. Then my dad came running in to see what was happening. And ran out laughing. My bro then appeared calling my dad a perv. Thinking it was him that walked in first. Still see this girl now and again. They broke up. But we laugh about it. She well and truly broke my virginity. It's just a part of life and he will grow up to understand that. If in future he asks questions, don't be shy. Explain it all to him. I do however have a lock on my door. For when we are at it. Think that situation prepared me to think about someone walking in on us. He probably didn't see anything. I apparently walked in on my brother and his GF when I was a preteen. But I didn't even know what was happening. And I'd known what sex was since I was 5. They screamed at me to get out and I got out. I didn't really register what was happening. I only knew 'cause he told me when I was 15. Not that you can rely on the past being any good. But privacy in sex was very much a cultural and economic development. He'll turn out fine. Maybe talk to him so he doesn't rat you out if your parents are that hung up and may react badly. Someone's gotta have the sex talk with him anyway.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.